I hate to be the realist here and keep bringing people to some serious issues. I believe I'll add to security, I'll add the privacy issue. And I think in 2020, there was a huge awakening. I don't know if a lot of people are aware of it. I know it's a worldwide news, which was the SolarWinds hack that Microsoft exposed. And what they have done in that huge hack is some bad people got into a company that sells infrastructure to millions of organizations around the world. And they put some malware code inside that infrastructure code. And when people upgraded, they got control of a lot of organizations. And it took 6 and 8 months to actually find what is happening. This is, guys, is really, I thank you for Mughis for bringing this issue up, because this is really, I believe, is the #1 issue. And if you look at the CIOs, not only in our region, but worldwide, you look at the CIOs' priorities, and #1 priority is definitely the cybersecurity and the security of their organization. Especially now that you are exposing, most of the organizations are exposing their businesses to the world, not anymore in a data center, and only the employees has access to that data. So I believe this is tremendously important issue, and I believe it will continue to be more important, because with the advancement of securities that's going on, you also have advancement in the technology. And I hate to break the news for you, but the people who are familiar with quantum physics, they know that when you come with quantum computing, you actually, most of these password encryptions that we have today can be breakable in seconds. So now it is basically moving as fast in the security, but also in the technology, and it's really becoming an urgency for a lot of companies to address. I believe also the privacy area is also extremely important. And what is happening with the big social media companies, and how the Congress in the US is focusing on these companies, and how are there a lot of manipulation of the populations. We saw what happened in politics, and what's that, they're actually used as tools for manipulation. So those are very important issues, the privacy and the security, very important issue to bring up and talk about. And sadly, we see it talking a lot about in the West, in the US, a lot of it in Europe, but we don't see in the Islamic world a lot of discussions about it. And we see them just following the advancements, and we don't see the regulations are educated. Like for me, the central banks have to create, all of the central banks have to create units in the Islamic finance in markets that are actually focusing on technology and security. I mean, today, central banks cannot look at themselves as regulators of finance only. They have to look at themselves as regulators of technology, because the technology is coming into banking, huge, and it's coming into fintechs, and fintechs are coming. So I believe competency has to grow in these central banks, and those central banks have to become the trendsetter instead of just the followers in some of these areas. So I do believe these are very important.